Hi there. Welcome to the 5-Minute News Hour. I'm a little sick today, but we're still doing the show. Because you know what they say, the show must... Go on. Good evening, America, and welcome to the 5-Minute News Hour. My name is Brian Garland. Tonight's top story. Rick Santorum has suspended his campaign for the Republican nomination for president this week, telling reporters pulling out was my only real option, at which point Mrs. Santorum said, "If I had a nickel..." Santorum was contrite and respectful in his speech, telling supporters that he knew that Mitt Romney was able to and going to beat President Obama in November, adding, "Also, you're all a bunch of sinners who are destined to burn in hell for what you've done to me today, so, you got that going for you." Santorum's exit from the race paves the road for Mitt Romney to focus on President Obama and the November general election. And with Gingrich, Perry, Bachmann, Kaine, and everyone out of the race, things have gotten a little more boring. Or as I like to call him, Romney. As the new word for boring. Isn't it funny? As late as last week, Santorum said he was going to maintain his campaign at least long enough to hit his home state's primary in Pennsylvania. But the hospitalization of his youngest daughter Bella over the last 4 days caused Santorum to take time off of the campaign. His young daughter is stricken by a chromosomal disorder that affects her development. And it is important that Romney finds strength in his family, because in the deepest, darkest hours, that is where we can all turn to know that we have loved ones, people that support us, and will always be there. Unless one of them is gay, at which point it's all a sin and should be negated. Facebook this week bought the online photo service Instagram for around $1 billion. Huh? When are the graham crackers getting here? Said your grandpa. In a rare public appearance on Tuesday, former President George W. Bush spoke to reporters and a gathered crowd about his time as president, telling them he wishes that the tax cuts weren't referred to as the Bush tax cuts, and he misses being able to go through red lights. At which point a reporter asked, "Seriously, that's all you have to say about being president?" He's like, "Uh-huh." It's like, the only one regret you have about all of the things that happened during your time in office is that the tax cuts to the wealthy are referred to as the Bush tax cuts. Yep, sounds about right. USA, USA, USA. No, Mr. Met, no. Sorry, I was dreaming about sports. Miami Marlins manager Ozzie Guillen was suspended 5 games today by his team after comments printed in Time magazine that supported Cuban dictator Fidel Castro. Guillen was quoted as saying that he loves the guy and really respects him because people have been trying to kill him and get him out of office for 60 years, and he's stayed in there. Guillen has gone on to apologize deeply and sincerely to the Cuban population of Miami, to whom Fidel Castro is a Hitler or Saddam Hussein figure. He has also canceled plans to travel to New York on his game with the Mets and praise Bernie Madoff, talk about the planning and organization of William Tecumseh Sherman in Atlanta, the stick-to-itiveness and creativity of the DC Sniper, and how good jolly Santa Claus is in Philadelphia. Those are all the teams in the NL East. You know who's on top of the NL East? 4-0 New York Mets. I really have bad allergies today. Breaking news into the 5-Minute News Hour news bed. In an effort to woo Latino voters, Republicans have switched Rick Santorum and Ozzie Guillen's press conferences. Santorum will manage the Miami Marlins, is expected to leave Jose Reyes out of the lineup any day now with a catastrophic injury, probably from carrying around too many dollars and broken hearts. And Ozzie Guillen matches up with the Republican stance on homosexuality after years ago he got in trouble for calling Jay Mariotti a faggot. For all of me here at the 5-Minute News Hour, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. and I plead with you, kill all the plants you can. Their oxygen isn't helping anyone if it's poisoned with their semen that I'm allergic to. That's what pollen is, right? What the hell was that? Have a good night and a great night.